Welcome to the Season 3 Last Word Survival preview session. This will be walking through everything that we know. Now, having not actually been through Season 3 myself, this is all information gathered from other sources, so it may be subject to change if the game has changed since the other sources I drew from were recorded or created. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. Season 3. Remember the things to do before and after reset. Make sure you get all your teleporters, get those ready. We'll be moving around a lot, so that's going to be important. Before reset, I guess that's actually going to have to reset. Um, Immediately after reset, get your trucks ready, but don't send them out. You'll want to send them out in the last 15 to 30 seconds before the 9 minutes are up. So the way this works is reset occurs, and then 10 minutes after reset is when the map actually transitioned. So, and there'll be a countdown timer that will be in place. It'll tell you how much time is left. With about 15 to 30 seconds is when you want to send out your trucks, because once the map reset occurs, all the trucks you send out will instantly be returned to you, they don't have to be out for the 4 hours and be vulnerable. Before the reset, you want to hit at least a 160 Doomwalker to get your purple survivor tokens, and then send your trucks out. You'll probably want to have some RSS on hand. After the map change, you'll also want to have a build slot available. I should have had that in there in the first 9 minutes after a reset. You want to make sure you have one build slot available. After the map change, that's when you'll want to hold any radar missions. Apparently, there will be some new radar missions. I'll talk about those in a little bit. After the map change, you want to hit a level 190 Doomwalker, not a 160, but a 190. That reason is 190 level Doomwalkers are the ones that's the level at which you will receive the most seasonal resources, so mithril and sacred water. So you want to make sure every day in season you're hitting a 190 or higher. Join, help others. Don't make sure your first kill is always a 190 at least. You're going to want to reset your profession. That's because with the new season, the green bar on the right side is going to come back, and there's going to be some valuable professions you'll want to capture there. Start working on first kills, push the seasonal buildings, and now in the first 2 weeks, right after reset, after the map changes, you'll want to use your Legend Returns hero recruitment tickets. These have a 10% chance to give you mithril and a 10% chance of giving sacred water, which are the new seasonal resources. So every 100 tickets should average out to about 10,000 sacred oil or sacred water and 10,000 mithril. If you have the mushroom base, it's a good time to use it because the seasonal base doesn't give you any direct effects in combat, but the mushroom base will help you with first kills because it gives you that 6% damage versus zombies. Early season etiquette, just a few things we haven't covered in the past, but just to make them out here for sure. Asking for help with first kills if you're asking people that aren't going to, and they're not going to lose troops, that's perfectly okay. If if people are going to lose troops because you're trying to push the level, make sure it's okay with them and always send out your best squad because especially with the bigger players, they're going to if they're helping everyone in the alliance out, they're going to be taking lots of troop losses and constantly be low on troops. So if you are going to ask for help and it is something that's pushing the level a little bit, do send out your strongest squad, take the losses because you'll help preserve the troops for the bigs as long as possible so they can help as many people as possible. If you see the bigs killing a really high level Doom Elite, don't ask for help if you see three of them coming back burning if you're not large enough to help there. These are just things that will be getting everyone up there. Everyone will be getting to Doom Elite 60 kills. Don't worry about that. We'll get you there. It's just the timing and the resources because it's going to be super important that we capture cities and strongholds as quickly as we can as well. So we need to have troops available for that. Now, helping with cities and strongholds. Early on, it may not be as much of an issue, but as we start getting into the fives and sixes, it'll be more really important that you check your combat reports. You're always good to join in capturing a city or a stronghold if you're killing two squads with your squad, even if it comes back burning, because the cities and strongholds don't take percent damage unless you actually kill a squad. If you're only killing one squad, that can still be okay. Check and see where everyone's at. If you're not killing at least one squad yourself, it's best to sit those fights out. The reason for that is again, the every time that you don't kill a squad, it's going to cause others to have to send troops again, leading to more troop attrition. Troop attrition in the first 2 weeks is going to be the thing that slows us down the most. So the more that we can make sure that we're using troops as smartly as we can as an alliance, the faster we'll be able to get to the center. Now, something that's super cool that's different in season three is we have something called the Alliance Center, and I'll get into that a little more. In season two, we had the Alliance Furnace, but the Alliance Center gives seasonal resources and oil. So you'll be able to, when we get it unlocked, receive 830,000 mithril every day from the Alliance Center, 14,400 oil every day from the Alliance Center, and 207,000 sacred water. So again, the sooner we can capture land and move towards the center, the sooner we'll be able to level up the Alliance Center because it's based on the amount of spice you have. So the higher level lands we capture generate more spice, which allows us to upgrade the Alliance Center that much faster. So the sooner we can get towards the center, the sooner we all start eating better because of the rewards given by the Alliance Center. Now, some changes in the new seasonal resources, things to think about. So mithril is the new coal or mutant crystal. This is the thing that you'll use to build your blessing fountains, which are the same thing as the protein farms or the titanium factories. This is your base level seasonal resource that you use to build the thing that generates the next resource. And that next resource is sacred water. Sacred water is the thing that you're going to use to build your curse research lab. So this is, curse level curse resistance is the same as virus level virus resistance. So the sacred water is the thing you'll be using to increase your virus resistance. Uh, there are sandworms. These sandworms, when you kill them or attack them, in certain cases, will drop sandworm scales, and these can be used in the Desert Bazaar. If you remember from season one, the serum shop with had little Monica uh, on it that uh, sold all the little things, and you could trade your serum in. It's the same thing, but the currency here are sandworm scales. The four primary new items in that shop in that Desert Bazaar are the Protector Horn, the Archaeologist Hammer, the Desert Compass, and the Trap, trap Landmine Refill. Protector Horns allow you to summon the Desert Protectors, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but these are a new troop type that you'll use in certain situations. Archaeologist Hammer is the thing that you use when you go to Desert Treasure. Desert Treasure is the new dog. Uh, so when we're looking at the thing that the daily activity you do to get resources, it's that. Desert Compass allows you to actually immediately find desert treasure vaults so that you can go exploring with a hammer. And then the trap landmine refills. These are the things you'll use to hit large sandworms to bring them to the surface in order to kill them in order to gain sandworm scales. Seasonal buildings. The Blessing Fountain, this is the same thing as Titanium Factory or the Immune Protein. We've seen that, been there, done that. Curse Research Lab, it's like the base furnace or the Virus Research Institute. Been there, done that. Level it. You want to get to level 30 to max out your virus resistance. Something new. There is no version of uh, military bases. There's no air base, no missile base, no um, tank base in season three. Instead, you've got the altar. The altar buffs your desert protectors. And again, we'll get into that in a little bit. So that's a change. You're not buffing your squads directly, you're buffing the new type of troop. Protector Field is a new building, and I'll cover this in more detail. This is the thing that you'll upgrade to allow you to hold more desert troops. And then the Alliance Center, we covered that going through there. So those are the new seasonal buildings. Protector's Field does appear to persist past season three, but the altar, the research lab, and the blessing fountain are all seasonal buildings and will go away at the end of the season. Now, blessing fountains, just like in the past, you'll want to raise your first blessing fountain to level 10. It might be level 15, I'm not 100% sure, in order to unlock the next one. Then you'll want to raise that one only enough to unlock the next one, and raise that one only enough to unlock the next one. And so at that point, you'd have four of them, and then start leveling them evenly. Do not level your weekly or the weekly pass farm if you do buy the weekly pass fountain until you have the other four unlocked, and then level it equally with the fourth fountain. So there's no benefit if every upgrade gives the same amount of resource, whether you're upgrading from 1 to 2 or 29 to 30. So the most cost-effective way to obtain the most amount of sacred water is to level the blessings as evenly as possible. Um, so just we've been through this a couple of times now. It should be pretty much the same item. Get them all unlocked and then level them evenly. So the protector field is also interesting. For levels 1 through 10, upgrade levels, so upgrading to level 2 through 10, it takes food and iron, no gold. So you're using regular base RSS to upgrade the protector's field up to level 10. Starting with a level 11 through level, oh, that says 30, but it should, or 20, but it should say 30. From levels 11 through 30, it takes only mithril and sacred water. What this means is you'll want to upgrade to level 10 and then stop until you get your curse research institute up to 30. So it's more important to get your curse research institute up to 30 than it is to level up your protector field. So take this up to level 10 and then hold there until you get your virus resistance maxed out. Uh, Seasonal things. So the Alliance Center unlocks on the second day. I guess I should have removed the slide. It's basically repeating things that we said. But again, the Alliance Center, we might be able to have multiple of it, sounds like, which we'll get into in the Spice Wars a little bit later. But it's super valuable. It also, in addition to oil, mithril, and sacred water, it will generate some number of protector horns on a daily basis as well. So those are and we'll get into those in a little bit. Desert Bazaar is something that's going to be under the seasonal icon on the right side of the screen. That's the serum shop. We use sandworm scales instead of serum. Desert Treasure, we talked about a little bit. This is the Tetris or the Cook for Dog event. And I've got some slides below that will show that in there. Legend return tickets, use them in weeks 1 and 2, then save all additional Legend return hero recruitment tickets for season 4. The reason being is starting with week 3, you're just not getting enough seasonal resource to make it worth spending them as valuable there as it is saving them up for the start of season 4 for season 4 seasonal resources. Trade posts are a new type of land. So we've traditionally had cities and strongholds. Now we have cities, strongholds, and trade posts. Trade posts are different. Trade posts are capturable by a single individual, but also must be defended by that single individual. So it's sort of like land that's owned by one person. There's some things that we'll cover in later on that go into more detail. If you capture a trade post, you have a protection for 7 days on it, and then it's open then you'll have to defend it. You don't have to hold adjacent land in order to capture a trade post. It does have things that are for sale for everybody, but it is a set amount that everyone has access to. So as soon as a trade post is captured, what you're going to see is a whole bunch of people rushing there to try and buy the resources in the trade post, which uses diamonds. So you buy everything with diamonds, and then once they're gone until there's uh, a caravan that comes by to restock the inventory. There's also trade post tax, some percent, and I put in here R5, but it really isn't individual. Some of this was hard to kind of pull out from the resources available. But the percent of gems that come as a tax. So if you buy something for 1,000 gems, some percent of that goes to this tax fund, and then that gets dumped into an egg. And the owner of the trade post then can then pass that egg out in Alliance Chat or World Chat. So generally, what this means is you'll want to buy from trade posts that are owned by BBGY people first. If you if there's no trade posts left that have anything that you're looking for that are owned by BBGY, buy from trade posts that are from the NAP6, then buy from any trade posts owned by anyone on 1449. The thing about trade posts is you can capture these cross server. So you also can jump to other servers to find trade posts that might be owned by, Enit or Roctopus or Benji or TMAC might also own trade posts and on other servers. So rather than just buying from any other random trade post, try to find the ones that are owned by uh, players from 1449 first, and then from our faction second. And so, like in season 2, where we had the rebels and the gerrymandry, we're going to have two factions like that as well. So 4 of the servers will be one side, and 4 of the other servers will be the other side, as I understand it. So Uh, Buy from anything owned by BBGY first, buy from 1449 NAP 6 second, buy from 1449 third. You may have to go off server to do that. Buy from the same faction fourth, and then only after that, if you've got diamonds and you're still looking for things, buy from others. Interesting little seasonal flavor thing. The trucks in season 3 will be camel caravans. So instead of trucks driving around the map, you'll see camels driving around the map. Doomwalkers become wandering mummy warlords. Again, just a reminder: purple survivor tokens are 160 up, but everyone should be hitting 190s in season, so days 1 through 56, and that's because that gives you the max amount of mithril from killing those. The 207,000 for killing a 190 is the max, so everyone should be killing a 190 or above. It does sound like there's a new radar mission type, which is sort of like the press your luck um, radar mission, if you remember from Black Market, where you open the box and if you've got uh, it, either you get a reward or a failure, open it again, reward or failure, and you can do that up to 5 times. It sounds like if you fail that, you suddenly like drop into a pit, and then suddenly it's like the Halloween event where you're running around the map trying to dodge things, pick things up. Sounds like that may be a thing. I've heard that in a couple of places, but not 100% sure. I've also heard that the Storm Arena changes slightly. So right now we've got Storm Arena, which is your top squad against their top squad, and 3v3 Brawl, which is your 3 squads against their 3 squads. It sounds like Storm Arena becomes like attacking a train. If you've never attacked a train, the way that works is instead of all 3 of your squads attacking at the same time, then up against all 3 of theirs, your first squad attacks, it kills whichever squad or squads it can, or fails entirely, and then your next squad attacks, and it goes like that. So it's in order to have a uh, crushing victory, your top squad would have to defeat all 3 of their squads in order to do that. But that's the Storm Arena. I do believe it's the same, that there's 2 levels of Storm Arena: an elite for the players that are in the top 200 of their server, and a uh, uh, medium range, I think it is, which is 201 through 800. So that doesn't change, I don't believe. But those are some interesting little tidbits of change. They're not super impactful, but just things to be aware of. Okay, Desert Protectors, the new thing. So Desert Protectors are dead soldiers that rise from the dead. They are more powerful than your regular soldiers. There's interesting ways to use them, but they are a finite resource. They're not like soldiers. Even if you win, you still lose your Desert Protectors, with the exception of one profession ability that we'll talk about in a little bit. But how do you get desert protectors? There's 4 ways. If you own the seasonal skin, the melody skin, you can gain a small number every day. The protector horns you're able to buy from the Desert Bazaar, that also eventually unlock from the Alliance Center, allow you to gain 1 desert protector of the highest level you can train. So if you've got T10s, you get a level 10 desert protector. There's a skill, Desert Protector's Oath profession skill, that gives you some number of Desert Protectors every time you use it. And then the most common way that you're going to get Desert Protectors is you send troops out and they die. Some portion of them basically sit in your base waiting to be resurrected as desert protectors. And to do that, instead of sending your recon planes to cure people like in season 1 or to warm people up in season 2, you're now going to send your recon planes to other bases to convert their dead soldiers into desert protectors. Um, and that one skill is Indomitable Will. It's a green ability in the profession tree that I believe is open to both War Leader and Engineer. And with 3 of 3, it allows you 9% of your Desert Protectors to return. Desert Protectors are much stronger than regular troops, but they're one-time use and then you lose them. As you see here in the middle of the screen, the must manually add to rallies. That means when you start a rally or go out to attack someone, you're going to be sending your normal troops by default. You actually have to activate that ability and click on the little spinning circle of the little soldier guy, and that'll convert it to a Desert Protector rally. And then some more information on that will be coming here in just a couple of slides. There are different abilities your Desert Protectors receive based on how many you have. So at 500, I'm not going to go through all the details in here. You can see them in here. But as you have more and more desert protectors in your field, they're stronger and they've got more buffs. Up until at 1250, you're able to send out rallies with desert protectors. So if you have 1250 or more desert protectors, you can start a rally with desert protectors. Otherwise, you can only use them for individual attacks. Now, this is something to be aware of. The As you can see in here, there's a regular rally up above going up against a Doom Elite. It's blue, the border's fine. Then you see a second one where it's got the gold border. That gold border means it's a Desert Protector rally, which means if you join it, you're not sending your regular troops, you're sending Desert Protectors. So if you've got 500 Desert Protectors, it's going to send some portion of those in the rally. So just be aware as you're joining rallies, you can't just join willy-nilly. If you don't want to lose your desert protectors, you'll have to avoid joining gold rallies. Um, so, uh, and you can't send regular troops to desert protector rallies. So that bottom one, you have to send desert protectors. The way desert protectors work is you send the amount of protectors equal to 10% what your troop size, your march size is. So if you have a march size of 2,000 troops, regular troops, you would send 200 desert protectors. So if you've got 1,000 desert protectors in your field and you join a march size, you've got 2,000 in your march size, and you join that, you would send 200 desert protectors, so you'd only have 800 left in your field. So regardless of whether that rally succeeds or fails, those 200 are gone. So be careful when you use them. You want to be very purposeful in when you add protectors. There will definitely be reasons to send out desert protectors, but you don't want to send them out willy-nilly. And I don't know if auto join is enabled for Desert Protector rallies or not. So be very careful, especially in off-peak hours, until we figure that out about sending out Desert Protector rallies. Some really good uses for Desert Protector rallies are going to be progressing on first kills on Doom Elites. Because they're stronger, they're going to give you a little extra oomph, so they will help you kill Doom Elites a little bit more. Attacking strongholds and capturing cities are good uses for Desert Protectors because those are going to give you more firepower and increase your squad strength a little bit more to allow you to kill a few more to be a little more successful. Don't send a Desert Protector rally out to a non-first kill Doom Elite. That's a complete waste. Don't send Desert Protectors out for Doomwalkers. We have enough power in the Alliance that even if you can't kill a 190, ask for help and you'll get people that with just regular troops can kill a 190. Do not send Desert Protectors out for Doomwalkers. Don't send Desert Protectors for mundane activities like Martial Guard. We don't need to use those for that resource. These are going to be far more important for strongholds and city captures and also for Spice Wars. So, if you have absolutely no room and you're looking for something to do, okay, just be aware and let people know because even if you've got uh, no space for more Desert Protectors, other people may be running low. So just be careful. Seasonal bonuses, the different things. The Melody base skin, that's the cat that I almost want to call us the Crazy Cat Alliance because we've got so many people in the alliance with cat bases now, which is awesome. The increases the protector capacity, the protector field capacity up by 500, allows them to summon 10 additional protectors on a daily basis. And just like Ice Castles in Season 2 and Pumpkin Cauldrons in Season 1, you can like these for speed ups for yourself. And you can do this on our server, other servers, servers outside of Season 3. You'll be able to do this wherever you see a Melody base skin. The decoration for Season 3 is the Eternal Pyramid. So that's you only need one. It adds 1% to the conversion rate of dead soldiers to your pool of dead soldiers ready to be converted into Desert Protectors. So you only really need one level. If you've already got that, that's fine. There's no reason to pump it up. Scarlet becomes UR on day. She's available to upgrade on day 1 of week 3. Again, like all hero days, or all with Mason and with Violet. Wait until Hero Day. Put all of your skill medals into Scarlet. Put all of your purple shards into Scarlet. Then promote her. You will get all of your skill medals and any previous skill medals you invested in Scarlet back to redistribute however you want once you promote her, and you'll get any purple shards that you put into her that are on her Wall of Honor back as Scarlet shards to level her up again. If you have a Wall of Honor of 160 for Scarlet, she'll instantly be upgradable to 5 stars. Anything above that, then you're just leveling her up again. And then if you're wondering, in season 4, it's Sarah who gets upgraded. So if you have enough to, or you get Scarlet up to 5 stars, and you want to know who to work on next, it's going to be Sarah. Seasonal bonuses. Scarlet takes 5% less monster damage as a tank or a defender. That's a good thing. Marshall plus 10% to monsters. Marshall doesn't deal any damage, so who really cares? Skylar 10% damage to monsters. She's an attacker, so that's good. McGregor 10% damage to monsters. He's a defender. He doesn't deal a lot of damage anyway, so that seems odd to me. But those are the bonuses for specific heroes in season 3. Uh, we talked about hero recruitment tickets. Weapons of Legend return. These are the recruitment tickets that give exclusive weapon shards for heroes. Again, use these on hero days. These will only be available during season, and you won't get a whole lot of them. These are pretty rare on that part. Exclusive weapons. Marshall's exclusive weapon comes out on day 4, Skylar on day 19, and McGregor on day 39. These are hero days of their respective weeks, week 3 and week 5, maybe week 6. I can't do math in my head. Marshall's exclusive weapon is considered incredibly powerful. Skylar's exclusive weapon is considered strong. McGregor's exclusive weapon is considered okay. So there's no real weak one right here, but there are some really good ones, especially if you're maining a tank squad. Marshall's really good, although Marshall does start to get moved around a little bit because of his exclusive weapon. And Skylar stays in the air squad above Morrison if you're starting to really min-max and play with squad types. So Skylar's exclusive weapon is also a good one on those respects. Sandworms. So the reason why we're calling this Dune. So doing activities, killing Doom elites on the map will increase the activity tracker. As you can see in that very bottom box on the left side, there's a question mark. It may be a little hard to see, but there's a little yellow line running around the outside of that. When that fills up, people click on it and it spawns, for lack of a better word, a sandworm. It can spawn, I think, one of 2 types of sandworms, a small or a large. There's also a giant. We'll get to that in a little bit. Um, these generally attack bases if they're spawned through this activity. If they're a large sandworm, they will knock the base out, sort of like it got ashed and was teleported away. You'll be given a free Alliance teleporter to come back, which may or may not be that useful because we'll get into, with the Alliance centers, you want to be inside the space of the Alliance centers. With small sandworms, your Alliance base doesn't get knocked back, but instead you get wrapped up by a sandworm, and other players have to attack it to destroy it. Until it's destroyed, you won't be able to send any troops out. And we'll cover that a little bit. But sandworms don't care about virus resistance, so you're immediately at full strength against sandworms. There's no need to upgrade your virus resistance levels for attacking them. When a sandworm dies, based on its size, it'll drop a number of blue present boxes. You can collect up to 30 of these, is what I understand, every day. This is a good way to get scales as well as other resources. If you trigger the sandworm, you also get rewards mailed to you. And if you attack the sandworm, you get rewards for attacking, sort of like zombie bosses. How the person that spawns a zombie boss gets some reward sent to them, as well as the people that attack the zombie boss. Triggering lots of sandworms is going to be good. That's going to be a way to generate a lot of sandworm scales, which will allow you to buy resources from the Desert Bazaar. So this is going to be something that will be good to use. So small sandworms right here kill. We kind of talked about it. You can attack these regularly. There's no need for rallies. That'll be the big thing on these small sandworms. And That's the big part of it. It'll be pretty self-explanatory, I think, once we get into season and start seeing it. Large sandworms will knock the base away. These, I think, have to be rallied. I don't think there's an option to attack them normally, so you will have to rally them. When they die, they give lots of boxes. And if you get knocked away, you do get a free Alliance teleporter to come back. But those, we all know, the Alliance teleporters like to space you out a lot. Giant sandworms are much larger. You need a trap landmine of a certain type to unlock them. I'm not 100% sure how that happens. It was hard to get some footage for the giant ones. Um, Once a giant sandworm is spawned, anyone on the server, whether they're 1449 or other servers, can attack it. It's a free for all. If you think about it, it's sort of like as the code boss. It's just up and everyone can attack it. Um, the Giants have a suggested power of 47 million. You're obviously going to be able to hit it with a smaller squad than that. How much smaller, I don't know. But you can always join rallies of larger players as well. This is one that it may be useful to use protectors on, and you'll definitely want to join rallies, especially if you're on the smaller size, to try and get in hits and get rewards from the giant sandworms. Landmine trip landmine trap, not trip, is a level 65 profession skill. The other useful thing here is you will see large uh, clouds of dust moving across the map. These are large, not small and not giant, but the middle sized one, the large ones. Large sandworms moving across the map. You can lay down these landmine traps to knock them to the surface so they become attackable. Now, you'll have to be careful because, like Doomwalkers, they do move for a bit and then they change direction. So if you see uh, uh, a large sandworm moving under the sand and the cloud of dust moving across, you'll want to wait till it changes direction and then put the landmine down in front of them. Because if you just put it down, they may change direction all of a sudden on you. And in that case, you've just laid it on a landmine that is a waste because it's not going to get triggered. So you can definitely go after large sandworms under the ground. You'll just need landmine trap triggers to go ahead and trigger them to spawn on the surface, wait for them to change direction, and then go ahead and lay down the trap. Greenification. This is a different mechanic. So in season 2, this was laying down heat and warming places up, and you got resource boxes that popped up. You know, the things like that. Um, with greenification, greenifying a space will uncover some rewards. This is done by sending out uh, sending out recon planes. Initially, your recon plane will greenify a plot of land that is a 1 by 1 square. There are profession skills that allow you to greenify a 3 by 3 square, and it'll cost 10 stamina each way. So basically, using that profession skill allows you to get 90 stamina worth of greenification for 10 stamina. So you'll definitely want to get into that resource or that profession skill, and I've got those listed down below. You can also do this starting in week 5 across war zones. You can greenify across on different servers. The one caveat on greenification, I think, with the exception of the 1 by 1 square, is one of the boxes has to be on green land somewhere. So when you have the 3 by 3 square, I believe it either has to be directly abutted or it has to be actually overlapping by at least 1 square on existing green land. So in this case, contaminated land is actually kind of like everywhere. Greenifying it starts from the center of buildings. And it'll all be more easily visible in season 3 when it gets started. But sending out recon planes at 10 stamina per plane to greenify the space is something that they'll be doing a lot of to uncover resources. Okay, profession update. And this is really going to be focused more on engineering a little bit. War leaders is not something I know a whole lot about, so that's one that if you're already there, you probably know a whole lot more than I do, so I won't try and tell you about it. The profession cap is raised from level 70 to level 100. So we've got, what's that? That's going to be 6 new rows of profession skills. But generally, just like other things, you'll want to, once you reset your professions, immediately after reset, you'll want to make sure you grab the right side first because that's got a lot of the seasonal utility, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But it also is where you'll find your bonuses to profession XP gain and things like that, which allow you to level your engineering profession from 70 to 100 faster. So a few things are going to be focus on resource cost reductions. So anything that you got that reduces the cost of resources, reducing the amount of RSS you need for building or research, those are going to be the most valuable because that also applies to seasonal resources. So you'll be able to cut down on the amount of mithril and sacred water you need to achieve those upgrades to the seasonal buildings. And that will help you get to virus resistance cap even quicker. So here's the skills kind of in, this is the right side, and I've kind of grouped them into things that we just grab every time, things that are useful, utility, and there's one ability that I would recommend staying away from. I don't know if you have to select it or not, but if you don't have to, I wouldn't. Combat experience and building inspiration, these give you more XP for activities. These are absolute musts. Double exchange, you're trading one seasonal resource for the other. An absolute must, you're basically trading at a 1 to 2, you're getting twice as much back as you traded for. Um, Double conversion allows you to convert allies' troops to protectors faster. It's going to be just that much more effective and efficient. Professional insights is free profession XP every 24 hours. Those are all things that you probably are just going to want to take by default because they're going to be that useful or that valuable. Likely kill skills, key skills, double greenification. That's a 3 by 3 square. You'll definitely want that. Protector's Oath gives you 100 desert protectors every 3 days. So that's definitely valuable. It is only 100, but again, if you've got a march size of 2,000, you're only sending out 200. So that's for most people going to be about 40% of the amount of desert protectors they would send out in a march. So it's a noticeable amount. Nature's Touch, I'm not sure how much use this is going to be. With the double greenification allows you to turn a one plot of land to green. 9 by 9, it's on a 2-day cooldown. I'm not sure how valuable that is though, given the double greenification. So that's one you might want to wait a little bit to take. Trap Landmine is probably going to be one that you want to take as it allows you to help bring sandworms to the surface, which is going to allow you to get more desert scales. And Indomitable Will is probably one you'll want to take because that returns at 3 of 3, 9% of your desert protectors back to you. Otherwise, they all disappear. So it's just a way to make your desert protectors last a little bit longer. Utility skills, so these are ones that are going to depend largely on your play style. Or might have benefits during certain parts of the season, but not be that valuable in other parts. Sands protection. This gives you additional defense when inside the space of the Alliance Center. The Alliance Center, like the Alliance Furnace, has a zone around it that if you're in that zone is when that applies. Um, I don't know why they call it Contaminated Land Teleport, where you get one free teleport inside of Contaminated Land every 47.5 hours, so one free teleport every other day. I don't. Obviously, it sounds like you can't use it on greenified land, only on contaminated land. So I'm not 100% sure how that's useful or where that is, but that's one to consider just because it is a free teleport, and there aren't a lot of ways to get teleport, so that's valuable there. Fragile Spell is one that I would recommend when we get into Spice Wars, and this allows you to deal a lot of additional durability damage. So you'll want to strongly consider that during the Spice Wars phases. Sandstorm is might be valuable instead of a 3 by 3. This is a 9 by 9 box. As you can see, it reduces March Seed by 20%. So that's going to be more of a defensive ability. You lay this down, it just takes that much longer for enemy squads to navigate through the the zone, and both when they're hitting and returning. So it's more of a defensive ability, I think. It's just something we'll have to play around with and see. Um, Explosive enhancement. This buffs the death shockwave buffs. So this is one where the Death Shockwave is one of the protector abilities, and in PvP, if you lose a fight, your protectors basically blow up and take some small portion of the enemy troops with them. This allows you to take more troops with them. And then Sandworm Trap, sort of like the instantly cools off a base in uh, Season 2. This one basically wraps a base in a sandworm so that that base can't send out troops until someone removes the troops from it. So that could be useful like on versus days and things like that. But like the other kind of traps, I believe this is one you have to set down and then wait. And it's got a 24-hour timer on it. If no one teleports into it in the 24 hours, it doesn't go off. So it's not something that you can do after the fact. You have to put it down and have someone drop in it. So if you got experience with that and you set them off regularly, it could be a good one to play around with. The meme skill, shrinking spell. So if you defeat a enemy base, you can reduce its size, and apparently this stacks 5 times. Why? I don't know. So very much a meme. If you have extra profession points that really have no value anywhere else, sure, go for it. But I think this is really just going to be a waste of points. Okay, the new engineering profession skills. A really good one, finding a buddy who's a war leader, is win-win cooperation. You can use this on a war leader to basically give them some of the benefits of the reduced construction, reduced research costs. Now, given the fact that this does not stack, they only need one person to cast it on them, and with a 24-hour with a 23.5-hour cooldown, it can be cast every day, like at reset on somebody. So, uh, war leaders, if you have engineers, ask them, find a friend. They can definitely give it to you, but we don't need a lot of people with this unless we have a lot more people going war leader than I expect. But because I think we're going to be pretty heavy on the engineering side, just talk to people and they'll be able to square that one up. Free teleport is a good one. It allows you to one free teleport every basically 3 days, and this stores up to three. So this is a really good one from mobility standpoint, because again, there aren't a lot of ways to get teleports, and this allows you to obtain a teleport every 3 days. Truck expansion, I, unless you're really hurting for RSS, this one's probably not one to take. It increases the gold, iron, and food of trucks and slaves by 25%, which can be nice, but you're probably going to have other things you need those points on more. So that's one I would probably recommend skipping. Helping Hand is a really good one, 5 additional helps. That's going to be not as useful for healing troops like in combat because you never hit the maximum number of helps anyway, but it would be useful for really long construction times. So if you've got a 30-day build, those extra 5 helps can be pretty significant. Um, Speed up boxes every day based on you can get 5 boxes, 25 minutes of speed ups. Basically, 5 random speed ups per rank. You can go up to 5 ranks, so you can at max get 25 5-minute speed ups. It is every day, but it does seem a little expensive, 5 points to get that. So I'm not sure that speed up boxes is one that you should put on your priority list. Emergency capacity increases your emergency center capacity. Another one that I'm not sure you should put on your priority list unless you've got profession points that are just hanging around. Having additional capacity in your emergency center is great, but you can only use that every 2 days, and it's not a huge amount of additional troops. So it's one that could be nice if you're swimming in points, profession points, but if you're not, that's another good one to skip to use your points elsewhere. Uh, 90 to 100 willing helper. This one is another one I would recommend skipping. At its best, with all of the points invested in it, you can earn an additional 1,000 alliance points a day, so 7,000 alliance points a week. Not really moving the needle a lot for something that's going to have an investment, but basically what this does, it allow you to gain 50 additional, up to 50 additional alliance points for every time you help someone up to 20 times a day. So if you do the math, that caps you out at 1,000 additional alliance points a day. Enhanced Siege Banner buffs the Siege Banner, pretty self-explanatory, especially during Spice Wars. That one could be very valuable. Cooperative Construction 2 and Research 2 provide an additional 25% buff to cooperative construction and cooperative research. If you're an engineer, these are kind of must-haves, especially if you're working towards 31 or helping others work to 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. One more time is if you like to gamble, go for it. Any activate use profession skill, so anything that's got the little hexagon that you've actually got to open up the book and use, there's a 20% chance that you don't actually trigger that ability when you trigger that ability, or you don't actually trigger the cooldown for that ability. So like you could hit rapid production, and 20% of the time it's not going to uh, actually consume that charge, so you'd be able to hit rapid production a second time. This can only trigger once per day, so you've got more than one skill that triggers on a countdown basis, but only one of them can trigger. So if you hit rapid production and it triggers, and then you go and you hit uh, build or research now, there's no chance of the research now is going to trigger because it's already been used on rapid production. So if you do use it, remember that it can only be used once per day across all of your skills. So it can be valuable, but it's also not guaranteed. So if you do use it, start with the skill that you're most interested in using it on. So like if you're really interested in using on rapid production or rapid research, or I'm sorry, research now, start with research now and then go in decreasing order of value. And it may not trigger at all on a certain day. It's a random chance. One that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy is Blast. Blast is like the virus bomb, but instead of spreading virus, you blow up and you cause actual durability damage. So you'll deal 25% of damage to their 25% of their durability will be gone as a result of the blast. Like the virus bomb, this is a hits any base within anything within three base or within three tiles, so within a base width basically, and has a 3-day cooldown. It also gives you War Fever, so it's unlike Virus Bomb where you could blow up and then come back and blow up and stay shielded the whole time. If you use this, you do blow up. Once you use it, it's going to give you War Fever and then start a 60-second countdown. So they'll have 60 seconds to ash you to prevent you from blowing up and causing them to, or I guess for them to also teleport out of the way themselves. Um, so it's not instantaneous the way you would use this. You'd hit blast, you'd gain War Fever. So if you were shielded, you lose your shield. And then you'd also initiate a 60-second countdown. At the end of 60 seconds, your base blows up just like Virus Blast, but instead of the bases around you getting infection, they lose 25% of their durability. If that takes any of them under one, then that base would be blasted away as well. So the Desert Bazaar, as you can see here, this is under the season 3 icon on the right. Uh, Seasonal resources. This is from days once it opens up, it'll be through day 56. It'll end when the season ends. Sandworm scales are the currency, so you'll want to be killing lots of sandworms to get the most scales you can to spend them in here. Desert Treasure. So this is the new Tetris or Dog Vault. It's basically Battleship. Uh, Once you find a Desert Treasure vault, you'll go in, you'll have X number of hammers. Every box you break will cost one hammer, and the different uh, valuables inside of there that you're getting will have different sizes. Some of them will be 1 square by 1 square, some of them will be 1 square by 3 squares, some of them will be 2 squares by 2 squares, or 3 squares by 3 squares. And so you're just basically trying to hit battleships, like 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5. So you want to be strategic in where you place your bombers or use your hammers to try and make it. So if you've got everything, if you don't have a 1 by 1, hopefully you never have a 1 by 1. But if you don't have a 1 by 1, then you never want to go next to each other. You don't want to just open everything in order. You want to do sort of a more crisscross diagonal ziggy zag thing, trying to get things the most number of space with the least number of hammers. Once you've found all three treasures, then as you can see in the top right, there's that little gold box that will be unlockable, and you'll be able to open the gold box and get the reward, which is 400,000 mithril, an exclusive weapon shard, and some resources. So just like the dog, you'll want to make sure you're doing this as often as you can in order to get as much of the seasonal resources as you can. It's like Battleship. Uh, if you've got just 3x3s left, then you've got a lot more. You're going to find it a lot easier. If you got a 1x1, you may have to open every single box to get there. And if you need more hammers, you can always buy more hammers at the Desert Bazaar. Spice Wars, it's similar to Rare Soil Wars. Um, a couple of the differences is it sounds like alliances can have multiple alliance centers. So this would be like having multiple furnaces. So if you're defending during Spice Wars, you have to defend the multiple alliance centers. You won't be able to just focus on one, or maybe you do focus one and just accept you're going to lose on the other. However that works, that'll be part of the strategic decision made at the alliance level. So this does mean that during Spice Wars, there's a possibility of attacking multiple locations at once or defending multiple locations at once. But again, this is what's going to determine seasonal ranking for the alliance and our alliance rewards. Is how much spice we have, which is a combination of the amount of territory we have, plus the level of territory, and then also how successful we are in attacking other alliance centers and defending our own alliance center. So the summary, walking through everything that we've gone through, because it's been very information dense and I've gone pretty fast going through here. Especially early in the season, go tall, focus on your top squad until virus resistance is maxed. You want that one squad as strong as you can make it, because that's going to help you get first kills as quickly as possible. Push to the extent that it's practical. Doom Elite and Little Zombies for first kills, because don't sit back and wait until you can kill them yourself. Do ask for help if you're smaller, but just don't expect bleeding edge help, because there's going to be definitely the first several days of the season, especially. Uh, you can go through tens of thousands of troops if you're not careful. Do get as teleporters every chance you can get. We're going to be moving around the map a lot, likely through the end of week 3. Week 4 is when cross map teleports likely open up, cross server teleports open up. But for those first 3 weeks, you're going to be reliant on your own teleporters. Uh, for um, for Spice Wars, we should really strongly have everyone consider transitioning to Ward Leader. Everyone should have, through the Battle Pass activities, at least have access to some profession rerolls. So maybe we'll have to figure that part out, but just be aware and consider it as something. Even if you don't buy the Battle Pass does have a free column, so you should be going into the Battle Pass and doing all of the daily activities you can, and do all of the big activities you can as quickly as you can. That will unlock as many of those rewards as you can get, and there's going to be resources to go along with that: mithril, sacred water, exclusive weapon shards, things like that you'll be able to get. So do try and complete as many of the Battle Pass activities as you can. Um, Buildings, because a lot of us haven't reached HQ 35. So how do you balance seasonal buildings versus HQ 35? Getting your Curse Research Lab to 30 is going to be your top priority. Even if that means putting your leveling your HQ to 35 process on hold until you get your Curse Research Lab to 30, that's going to be the most important thing in terms of being able to gain resources and scale yourself as much as you can. Try to always have uh, one build slot free or free-ish, in terms of you can finish something and then start a couple of seasonal buildings right in a row if you need to. You don't have to have it building all the time, but always have, it's gonna, if you only have one build slot or you have two build slots, having two 30-day buildings going on at the same time is not going to be ideal. Uh, as far as balance, once you get to Curse Research Lab 30, how it's going to go with going to HQ 35 and Protector Fields, you'll just have to play that one by ear. There's no perfect formula for that one. But again, the most important thing you can do is get your Curse Research Lab to 30 and then go from there. Seasonal, if you do spend money, there's the battle pass, the weekly pass, exclusive weapons, and for the first week, there's the mithril resource packs. From a process standpoint, I think I've got that. Okay, I've got that on the next couple of slides. So just to bring it out, if you are wondering what the primary things to spend money on are, these are the things you'll spend money on. Um, so here's what's going to happen. On Monday, the map's gonna we're gonna have reset. For the next 9 minutes and 59 seconds, we're still gonna be on the map that we're on right now. In those 9 minutes and 59 seconds, you're gonna wanna hit a 160 plus Doomwalker and then send out your trucks 15 to 30 seconds before the map changes. And there will be a countdown timer, so you'll see that as well. You'll also want to try and have a build slot free as well as having some resources available. Uh, to start building your protector field and healing troops on the flip side. After the first 10 minutes, the map changes, everyone gets kicked off the server, we all have to log back in. Um, Once we log back in, it's already kind of predetermined among the major alliances which spaces we'll be starting in. So our R4s and R5s will set down a new rally point. We'll all want to teleport. Alliance teleporters should be fine for the first one. There is no Alliance center at this point. So use Alliance teleporters to go to the new Alliance rally point. Once you're there, reset your profession. I said engineering here, but regardless, just reset your profession and get the skills on the right side, the green skills that are seasonal. Use your hero return recruitment tickets or legend return recruitment tickets in order to get your mithril and uh, sacred water from those, and then start leveling buildings. Once you've got those going and you've used up everything from your return recruitment tickets, then start getting your first kills, going after Doom Elites and little zombies to start leveling those up and getting the resources there to then continue leveling those seasonal buildings and hit a level 190 plus Doomwalker. Doomwalkers don't have virus resistance, so you're able to hit those just normally, and 190 plus because 190 is where you hit max rewards in terms of seasonal resources. All right, and then over the course of the first 2 weeks, keep using the tickets. Go tall, kill sandworms, and complete as many of the battle pass activities as you can. Your primary focus is going to be on first and foremost, trying to obtain as much mithril and sacred water as you can in order to level your um, fountains as quickly as you can so that you can level your not cursed, curse research institute as much as you can. Um, and then at that point help out with capturing strongholds and cities. Our focus for the first 2 weeks is trying to get as close to the center of the map as we can, capturing as much land as we can along the way, gaining as many first capture rewards as we can, while at the same time also maximizing our spice production. Starting in week 4, that's when the rare soil wars, or rare soil, the spice wars occur. So that's going to be weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's a 4-week combat period. Like in the furnace wars, I think it's going to be fights on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Wednesday near reset, Saturday around in the morning if you're in the U.S. Consider going war leader. At the end of week 4 is when the settlement occurs. All the seasonal rankings are put in place in the last week of the season, sort of that down week that we've become accustomed to. And then finally, just a reminder for the whole season, keep building your seasonal bases throughout the entire season. It's going to be your best source of profession XP. It's going to be the thing that helps you level your profession as quickly as possible. So, if you hit um, Curse Research Institute 30. Keep building up on that altar, keep building up on that desert protector field, using your resources as much as you can because there's two things that are true. One, popping seasonal buildings gives you the most uh, profession XP of any activity out there, and it's not even close. But second, um, The amount of Profession XP books you get for the resources of Mithril and Sacred Water you have at the end of the season is abysmal. The conversion ratio is awful. So it's much better to use them in buildings and get the Profession XP there than it is to use them to save them and hoard them and get books instead. And if you do get those books, just hold on to those books to the start of season 4 um, once the season ends. So you can use them all the way up until day 56, or use them up until you hit max level, max profession level, and then save the rest of your books until to use them until the next time the profession cap increases. And with that, we reach the point of questions. Wow, I think that was exactly an hour. That was a lot for an hour. Thank you everyone for sticking around. You can type questions if you don't have a mic, or you feel free to ask. I can go back to other parts on the slide, or we can call it good. Just let me know. Yeah, I am still recording, so I will share that out when I'm done. That when it's up and recorded and available on YouTube, I'll post that in Discord, and I'll also post it in Alliance chat. All right, I'm gonna hit stop recording.